Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. And I really mean that. Thank you so much for being here, because this is a topic that is really of critical importance, and that is this body of water that we call the Big Sioux. It is our primary source of drinking water for the city of Sioux Falls, but more and more we realize that it's even more than that. It's certainly an economic development driver. One thing that you'll find is that if you're trying to recruit new businesses to come to your city, or if you want businesses to expand in your city, one thing that they will demand is water. And not only the quantity of the water, but the quality of the water as well. We've also learned in Sioux Falls, especially probably over the last 7 years, that this body of water called the Big Sioux, it really also is a really major quality of life investment, as well as a tourism driver. We now have more people floating on this river than we've ever done before, whether it be a canoe or a kayak, and it's just been wonderful, especially as we've tied it into the over $10 million of improvements that we've made with our river greenway in downtown Sioux Falls. But the thing that I'm probably most enthused about is that 5 years ago, we did do something that we thought would really draw some attention to the Big Sioux. The Big Sioux was an impaired body of water, and depending on the definition, it still may be an impaired body of water, depending on what standard you want to utilize. But we wanted to draw some attention to how could we improve our river, our number one source of drinking water here in Sioux Falls, as well as how could we get others up and down the Big Sioux to help us in that effort. We started a Mayor's Big Sioux River Summit 5 years ago in Sioux Falls, and it's really been a good thing in a variety of different ways. One of the things that I started off with in that very first presentation was that, you know, we're all responsible for improving our water, but we're also all responsible for hurting our water sources too. In that very first meeting that we ever had, to introduce it, I brought out my fertilizer spreader, and I let the people know that I hurt the Big Sioux River today when I fertilized my lawn. You know, so often we put all of the focus, all of the energy, and yes, many times the blame on the farmers and the ranchers up and down the Big Sioux River and all across the Midwest when it comes to, you know, hurting our water quality. But it's more than that. You know, certainly they have a role to play, but small towns, and yes, these city slicker towns like Sioux Falls, we also have a dramatic role to play, and that's what we're trying to do. We'll talk more about this year's Big Sioux River Summit, but I did want to draw your attention to a topic that has become, you know, hotter and hotter over the last 7 years since I've been your mayor. And that is, we did make a decision in the city of Sioux Falls that we wanted to help filter water before it goes into the Big Sioux River. We wanted to filter it naturally. And so one of the things that we did is we stopped mowing drainage areas all across Sioux Falls. We stopped mowing areas that were adjacent to our Big Sioux River. We stopped mowing more and more green space that truly could be used to help improve the quality of our soil and help improve the quality of our water. You're standing right next to one today here at Cherry Rock. I think it's a great example. We used to mow up and down this bike trail right here at Cherry Rock and so many other parks. It took a ton of money, it took a ton of time, it took a ton of resources, it took a ton of equipment, and all we did is we just mowed stuff in the spirit of mowing it. And then we would have big rains, and it certainly was not helping improve the quality of water. Now, we don't mow along this Big Sioux River. here within the city of Sioux Falls as much as we used to. And we love how far we've come, but we can still do more. And so we're always looking for areas that we could not mow in the spirit of improving the quality of our water, the quality of our soil, the quality of our air, and yes, using resources in a much better fashion, not only for this generation, but for generations to come. I will mention something too. One of my greatest fears is that, I've had the honor to serve as the mayor for almost 8 years. We've made a concerted effort to really improve the quality of the Big Sioux River and this water. And one of the techniques we've used has been not mowing. One of my fears is that, a week after I'm done, they'll go right back to mowing it again. I know that's a real possibility, but, people of Sioux Falls, whether you're young, whether you're old, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you believe in this hot topic nationally or worldwide or not, here's the reality. Folks, we can't take this water for granted. We can't. And we have to realize that the things that we do in this time during our generation is going to impact this city and future generations for years and years to come. So it's time for all of us right now to make a positive difference, to make those changes that will improve things, and yes, take some heat, address the naysayers and the critics along the way.